Oh, it's off. Rebel kick. That's what I'm thinking about it. The 600, the Zoom chair setups. There needs to be two types of fairness from the two different perspectives. The one is that the people who will be in a minority in a geopolitical region must feel that their voice is fairly represented, not in their numbers, in their strength of their position. So there'll be more people from minorities. There'll be a proportional representation based on per capita of perceived group, okay? However you perceive that inside your own geopolitical regions, who these groupings are, what defines them. The minorities must be overly represented in the chairs. From the chair's perspective, once you hold a chair, you must ignore your region. It's a law, a rule. You must not favour your own region. You must stand. You can represent it, of course, and you fight its corner to the very death. But you must not over-represent your minority, and you'll understand what that means when you get into proper rhetoric discussion to make this work. And then as situations change, different cultures grow, that must drop away, the proportional representation of within the chairs, because it'll depend on funding. It'll mean that there'll be additional funding streams for the education for the minorities to bring them up to speed on the morality, and that once they're in any morality, make everyone in minority to understands that they are all on the same morality, their cultures can springboard back off again. And so as that does so, the funding balances out again in terms of education. And I think that's really only it, education. Everything else will be balanced. You see how so that the people who are perhaps in a minority in a region will see themselves represented powerfully in the 600 in their geopolitical region, but inside the chairs, they'll know there's absolute fairness in the way that people operate, because if someone's found to be operating insider trading, any kind of that kind of nonsense, and they're just out, it's bye. There's nothing to say, thanks, you failed, see ya. And that person has to exist knowing that they really failed in excellence. No one wants that. People will do it, but of course circumstances will change. So there you go, it's beautiful, isn't it? I can see that as a way of real balancing everything that we need to within each region, and letting everyone sort themselves out based on what's important to them in those geopolitical regions. And the same up the top, it's fair game. Anyone can take a chair at the very top. Anyone. Could be all from one country, who knows? It's possible. There's a game to play, isn't it? Same applies though. Up at the top, no insider trading, because that wouldn't be excellent. And who'd want to be that a not excellent person visibly at the very top of the game? So hello future. So just in case there's a detail, we can bank it away in a footnote. Is that all right? Book early. Right, love rules, do the work. Choose.